So you just got your real estate license, or maybe you signed up for your real estate course and you're wondering, how do I choose the right brokerage? Well, there's a lot of options to choose from and there's a lot of things you need to think about. So I'll be making this video to give you all the resources you need so that way you can make the best decision and pick the right broker for you. And so in this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you the 8 steps so that way you choose the right real estate broker for you that's gonna help you be the most successful with your new real estate career. I'm Devin Cook, welcome back to my channel. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. And if you would like to get 20% off of your real estate course, check the link down below in the description. And step number 1 in order to find the right real estate broker for you is you need to start interviewing other agents and you need to start interviewing a bunch of different real estate brokers. A lot of people when they first get started out, they just join a broker based off of who their friends are with or based off of who they've seen online or maybe the signs that they've seen driving down the road. And while that's not a bad option, the better option is to interview a bunch of different brokers, as many as possible, so that way you fully understand what all of your options are. And don't try to interview all of the brokers in your city because most likely there's going to be at least 25 of them. And that's just a lot of people to interview. But what I would suggest is to get online and make a list of the top 5 brokers that you're interested in. And maybe you got a list of, say, Keller Williams, EXP, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, and Remax. And then go to each of those brokerages and then interview each one of them and see what you like about them and see what the differences are. And to take that a step further, you also need to interview some agents that are with those brokerages. Because when you interview a brokerage, keep in mind that they want to hire you because they're gonna make money off of all of your sales. So most brokerages, and I would say probably 99% of them, are gonna want you to join their brokerage or join their team. And so they're gonna tell you all of the great things about their brokerage, how great it is, how successful everyone is, how the culture is just amazing. But you also need to interview the agents so that way you can get a good feel of what the actual experience is working with that brokerage. So to recap, step number 1, interview your top 5 brokers that you're interested in joining and then interview agents from each of those brokers as well. Now that was step 1 and we have 7 other steps, and the rest of these 7 steps are really gonna apply to that interview you're having with your broker. So you can think of them as really just questions to ask, things that you need to learn from each broker that you're interviewing. So step number 2 is you need to know what the commission splits are for that brokerage. Each brokerage is gonna function a little bit differently. Sometimes they just charge you a flat rate, maybe $500 per transaction, $1,000, $250, whatever it is for that broker. Or maybe they're on a percentage-based system like EXP or like Keller Williams, where you pay a certain percentage of all of your deals until you hit a certain cap amount. For example, Keller Williams is a 70-30 split until you hit about $18,000, depending on your market center. And EXP is an 80-20 split until you hit a $16,000 cap. So make sure when you're interviewing these brokers, you know what the commission splits are because that's gonna affect your income and it's a really important thing to know. Now, step number 3 is to know what other fees are involved with each brokerage. Because yes, you may have just found out what the commission splits were or what the flat rate was, but there's also gonna be other fees tacked onto things. You need to know what are the MLS fees gonna be in your area? What are the office fees gonna be? Are there any other resources that you're gonna have to pay for? How much is your errors and omissions insurance gonna be? How much is a transaction coordinator at this office? You need to know the answers to all of these questions and a full picture of the expenses that you're gonna be having on a daily or a monthly or a every deal basis. You need to know about all of these expenses ahead of time so that way you're not caught off guard when you sell a couple of houses and you realize,
wait, why are they taking out $200 from each of my checks?
And you didn't realize they had some admin fee that they were tacking onto everything. So make sure they disclose everything. Just say, hey, I wanna know every possible fee that I could be paying you. How much are office fees? How much is a transaction coordinator? All of these things, just make sure you get those answers. And the 4th step is you need to know what resources this broker is gonna provide you. Are they gonna provide you with office space? Most brokerages aren't gonna give you an office that is 100% completely yours, but they will typically provide you with an open community space that you can use or private offices that you can rent out for a certain amount of time. Also, you need to know what kind of technology they're gonna be using. Are they gonna set you up with a website? And going back to fees, are there fees for this website? Are they gonna give you a CRM to use to track your clients, track your to-dos, and make sure your whole business is running smoothly? There's a bunch of different resources that a brokerage can offer you, and so you wanna make sure you know what these resources are, because if they're not gonna be useful for you, then it wouldn't really make sense to join that brokerage and be paying them money for those resources that you're not gonna use. But in other cases, some of those resources are extremely valuable and it's totally worth the money that you're gonna be paying them in terms of the splits. And the 5th step with choosing a brokerage is you need to know if they're providing you any leads at all. Some brokerages are gonna say, well, that's up to you, do your own lead generation and best of luck. Other brokerages will basically give you a marketing budget that you can use use to lead generate. And there are some brokerages that are basically going to say, well, we don't really give leads, but they will let you sign up for what they call typically floor time, where you can be the agent that's on call if someone ever calls into the office wanting to know about a house. So make sure you know all about the leads that the brokerage does or does not provide, so that way you can plan your strategy accordingly. All right, and the sixth step is you need to know about their training, their coaching, and their mentorship. Some brokers are going to provide a ton of training. I know that's one of the benefits of EXP and with Keller Williams is there's a ton of training that they offer to their agents, and that's super helpful, especially when you're brand new. And some brokerages will offer you one-on-one coaching or mentorship that you typically have to pay for, but that can be a really great option to help you get your feet off the ground and get up and running your new real estate business. And personally, I think coaching is one of the most underrated aspects of real estate, and I think if you want to get good at real estate and actually run a business, you're gonna need a coach, because you can't do this all on your own, and there's gonna be things that you don't know, but your coach can help you through all of those. And step number 7 is you need to know about the culture for each brokerage. And even within each brokerage, different offices are gonna have a different culture. So if you decided on the brokerage that you want to join, but maybe there's a couple of different offices within your city, go ahead and interview a couple of those different offices within that brokerage, so that way you can pick the one that has a culture that you like the best. And one of the most important things that I think you need to look for in culture actually brings us to step number 8, which is brokerage success. Because you need to be looking for a successful brokerage, whichever one you choose, and you need to be looking to make sure there are successful agents that are within that brokerage that are selling on a regular basis. Because if you want to build a 6, a 7, or even an 8-figure real estate business, you need to be around people that are building a 6, 7, or 8-figure real estate business. So if that's your goal, you need to make sure to join a brokerage that has a lot of high producers that are making a bunch of money, selling a lot of houses, and then you can shadow them and potentially get mentorship and coaching from these agents. And those two really go hand in hand, because if you have a successful brokerage, most likely they're gonna have a great culture. And you also want their culture to be a culture of success. So those are the 8 steps to find a real estate broker as we're coming into 2022. Thanks for watching. Let me know what questions you have, and I'll see you in the next one.